Welcome to www.westsideautopros.com. Today's topic, the purpose of turbochargers. A lot of people do not know that turbochargers are actually a kind of a supercharger. The turbocharger used to be called a turbo supercharger. It was not long before the name was shortened. It's important to know what a turbocharger does and how it works. However, keep in mind that it's a lot of work to install these yourself or do any type of work on them. It's always a good idea to get an ASE certified mechanic to help you out with this. Purpose of the turbocharger. The turbocharger is made to compress the oxygen that comes into the engine of your car. When the oxygen level is increased, it will increase the overall power output. Whenever the oxygen is compressed, it will allow more to come into the engine in a shorter amount of time. Turbocharger versus supercharger. A supercharger is belt-driven. However, the turbocharger is powered by the exhaust gases of the vehicle. Basically, a turbocharger will take a byproduct of the vehicle's engine that would usually not have any use. It will use this to get the horsepower of the vehicle increased dramatically. If a vehicle does not have a supercharger or a turbocharger, then it will be called normally aspirated. These types of vehicles will have air drawn into them through the air filter. The air will then go through the meter. This will in turn regulate and monitor the air that goes into the system. This air will then be delivered straight into the combustion chambers of the engine. Parts of turbocharger. The turbocharger will be made of two parts. The first part is the compressor. The compressor is what compresses the air intake to the engine. It's what causes more air to get to the engine in a shorter amount of time. The other part of the turbocharger is the turbine. The turbine will take in the exhaust gases and then use them to power up the compressor. Something else that is often talked about with a turbocharger is the boost. This is the amount of the pressure in the air that the intake is exposed to. The more air that is compressed into the engine means the higher of a boost you can get. Considerations. It is important to remember that a turbocharger engine will have a compression ratio that is lower than a normally aspirated engine. Because of this, you will not be able to put a turbocharger on with an engine that was meant to be normal aspiration. To do this, then you will be putting the overall performance and the life of the engine at risk. You should also keep in mind that the lower compression ratio will mean that your engine will run a lot less efficiently when it's at a lower power. It's a good idea to go to an ASE certified auto mechanic to discuss what can be done to get a turbocharger safely and effectively put onto your vehicle. To find out more information on topics like this, go to www.westsideautopros.com.